Sophia towed off her flats just inside the doorway, the click of the hook a familiar punctuation to the end of her day as she hung her crossbody. A girls' night out after work was a deviation from her norm. For 6 months, since she'd joined the unit, the women had extended the same Wednesday invitation. Each time, Sophia offered a polite decline, hiding behind the flimsy shield of a fictional husband who wouldn't approve. The truth was, she lived alone, and the lie was a convenient way to avoid explanations. But tonight had been different. Perhaps a rogue spark of spontaneity had ignited, or maybe the sheer weight of casework threatening to topple from her desk had finally justified a happy hour. Whatever the reason, she was glad she'd gone. It was nice. The last 6 months had been a lonely stretch of new beginnings, and the evening had offered a fragile semblance of social connection. Her shoes went airborne with a flick of her ankle, pirouetting towards the closet. Then, with a sigh of relief, she plucked the elastic from her hair, releasing the tight bun. A cascade of dark strands tumbled down her back as she wandered towards the fridge, her stomach rumbling a protest after subsisting solely on the pub's charcuterie board. The refrigerator, however, offered little solace. Its stark, chilled interior was a desolate landscape for a hungry woman. A lone yogurt cup, maybe 2 would have to suffice. She stirred them vigorously, then devoured them on the couch, savoring the quiet solitude. Unlike her colleagues, Sophia didn't find decompression in a crowd. Her eyelids felt weighted, but her mind was still a hummingbird trapped in a jar, buzzing with the day's anxieties. She knew sleep would be a futile battle, a restless war of tossing and turning. Instead, she found herself drawn to her desk, her fingers dancing across the keyboard, plunging her down a digital rabbit hole. She knew the cardinal rule: work stayed at work. The sensitive nature of her cases demanded it. But tonight, a surreptitious peek at off-the-clock research felt like a way to soothe the jagged edges of her anxiety. A disorienting fog lifted, and Sophia blinked, struggling to recognize the shadowy room. The last thing she remembered was sitting at her desk, yet she was far from her chair, curled into a fetal position on the floor. Her arms were wrapped tightly around something, a desperate embrace. She loosened her grip and stared at the object clutched to her chest. A holy Bible. A cold, clammy sensation seeped through her clothes. She shifted, and a wave of mortification washed over her as she realized the dampness beneath her on the mattress, which was placed directly on the wooden floor. Had she wet herself? The thought was repulsive, alien. She had no memory of it. Panicked, she ripped the soiled sheets from the bed and fled to the bathroom. Scalding water poured over a hand towel, followed by a generous lather of soap. She scrubbed her skin raw, desperate to cleanse not only the mess, but the shame that clung to her like a second skin. She felt small, powerless, a child lost in the dark.